And welcome to the Rome Foundation AJ Institute on workshop on communication skills for doctor-patient communication. The Rome Foundation is a nonprofit organization that is international that seeks to improve the lives of people with functional GI disorders. We do this through quite a few number of ways. We have educational products. We have an extensive research program. We have an international liaison committee that seeks to promote awareness of functional GI disorders worldwide. We are very active with 2 board meetings a year and quite a few board members, working committees, and we just launched our Rome 4 project, which will be we're beginning the process of writing the Rome 4 book, which includes 16 committees for with 32 chairs representing 12 countries just in the chairs and co-chairs alone. Throughout the last 20 years, the Rome Foundation has had many publications, beginning with the first Rome 1 book, which is the little brown book, the green, from a long time ago. Those are actually rare copies, very few found these days. And going on to Rome 2 and Rome 3. And then following Rome 3, we did what we call a primary care book, Understanding the Irritable Gut. We've also created slide sets and algorithms. One of the best ways to keep up with the Rome Foundation is through our website, which we update regularly on any new programs or offerings that we have as the Rome Foundation. We also have an Associates of Rome program where you can join and be the first to know anything that's going on with the Rome Foundation. As part of that, you do get a biannual printed newsletter, and you also get quarterly e-newsletters and special bulletins when research grants awards are coming up or any programs that we might have.
My name is Diane Bach, and I'm with the American Gastroenterological Association. We're located in Bethesda, Maryland. Our mission is to advance the science and practice of gastroenterology and hepatology. We're 110 years old and growing, and we're very happy to work with the Rome Foundation on this activity. The structure of AGA is not unusual, but sometimes it can be complicated. The AGA is also the AGA Institute, and we also have the AGA Research Foundation. But for the purposes of our membership, we're all just AGA. We have a 12-member governing board. Dr. Loren Lane is our current president. He's at Yale University. We have numerous committees, probably the same committees that most medical societies have. But what makes us unique is we have an AGA council and 12 sections, and those individuals that populate those sections and the council make up the DDW content. For those of you who don't know AGA, DDW, Digestive Disease Week, is our annual meeting that we share with some of our sister societies. We have an 85-person staff, and we are located in Bethesda, Maryland. Our staff has grown over the years. When I joined 17 years ago, I was the 9th employee, and now we've grown to 85 because we do manage DDW, which is a very large meeting, and it's a year-round activity for the staff. We have a strategic plan. I think most medical societies, and even in business these days, we are governed by a strategic plan. And I mentioned our mission is to advance the science and practice of gastroenterology. And in order to do that, we focus on 4 pillars: research, education, practice, and advocacy. And the organizational capacity is really the financial backbone behind the organization. We have a very robust membership. It's the largest membership out of our sister societies in gastroenterology. This is just a snapshot. I would like to point out, although I thought we were going to have a few more international attendees today, maybe we will tomorrow, about 24% of our members come from outside the North American region. And that is a growing category for AGA, because we are looked at as the premier GI society worldwide. Although there are other societies here in the United States and abroad, I'm proud to say that they do look at AGA as the leader. And just to give a snapshot of the GI Association world, yes, we are one of 4 here. I'm also proud to say we are the largest and we have the broadest portfolio. These check marks can just give you an indication of the things we are involved in. I'd like to point your attention to the GI technology arena. We are branching into that area with a lot of robust programs. And we do a lot of basic science, which is a bit of a distinguisher from our sister societies. We cover the waterfront. That is our job. If you are interested in CME, AGA is providing continuing medical education for this program. I'd like to know if that's something that you'd like to take yourself avail yourself of, and I will be able to follow up with you to provide you the necessary paperwork. We hope you have an informative and most importantly, a wonderful experience. I was participating in the rehearsal last night and today, and the faculty that is coming together to help you learn better communication skills are so dedicated and so passionate about this topic, and we hope by the end of the session you are as well. Thank you.
Okay, so welcome. I'm Doug Drossman. This is definitely going to be something different. This is about you. We're hoping that you came with certain goals and ideas, and we hope to try to help you accomplish that, and the patient. So we're talking about development of communication skills. Your book should have some tabs. I think the first tab is the goals and objectives, which I just wanted to mention, and then we'll talk a little bit about the agenda and what we plan to do. So our goals and objectives are to understand the pathophysiologic, diagnostic, and treatment aspects of patients with IBS and other functional GI disorders. This is what you're used to. This is going to be a rather standard way of giving presentations, asking questions, and you will have the opportunity to get knowledge from experts, world experts, who you'll hear about in a minute. The second thing is to understand how to conduct a patient-centered biopsychosocial interview that optimizes time and enhances the patient-doctor relationship. And then there are some qualities that you'll be learning during these next 2 days. The third is to learn cross-cultural differences in communication and apply methods to obtain more effective interactions. And we have a very special workshop going on tomorrow where we'll be demonstrating and teaching that. And then to learn how to manage, quotes, difficult clinical situations, and that'll be done tomorrow as well. So if you turn to the page, which is the agenda, as I mentioned, from now for a couple of hours, we're going to have basically content presentations on the area of IBS, some on functional GI, and we're going to go from general features to the more severe type of patient conditions, and then we'll have a panel discussion. After the break, we're going to get into what we're calling the process of care. I'll be giving a presentation on why it is so challenging to work with patients with functional GI disorders, what is it about it, what's the history about that, and what can we do about it. And then Dr. Halpert will discuss something about the patient, how they experience things, and give you some messages for your own use down the line. This evening, we're very pleased to have Dr. Ray Miss, who I guess I've been familiar with for about 9 months now, who has done some, let's call it motivational speaking, and he's a gastroenterologist, and he'll tell you his story later and how this has affected his life, and that'll be at the dinner tonight, which will be back at the Sienna Hotel. How many here are staying at the Sienna? Some are, some aren't, so we'll have to be sure to get you to the hotel. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start to begin more interactive kinds of things, starting with a simulated interview demonstration. That I think you'll enjoy. Basically, you'll create your patient, and then I will be the doctor. Dr. Halpert will be the patient, and we'll talk a little bit about what's working and not working. Then we're going to have some live patients come, and they will be interviewed about their experiences, what worked and didn't work for them, how they learned how they had barriers to learning about themselves or about the doctors. And then following that, we're going to get into small group sessions. There will be several more people coming tomorrow who weren't able to make it today because it's during the week, but we will have either 2 or 3 groups with facilitators to work with actually patient simulators. And these are actors or actresses who are so real you won't believe it from our practice sessions earlier. And we'll be able to experience doing the interviewing and getting feedback on that. And then after that, we'll continue in small groups without the simulators, starting to address the kinds of things that might come up in your practice or in your experience if you're not a clinician. And then we might then use that as a basis for demonstrating. Another thing that's going to happen is at the end of the day, you're going to be given a sheet to work on for tomorrow. And that sheet will contain, it's a blank sheet with some prompts. And we'd like you to kind of come up with something in your experience, either with you as a patient or a patient you've had as if you're a physician, that was rather challenging or difficult. And then in the session tomorrow, we might then look at that as an example of something we want to understand better through some demonstration. Whatever profession you're in, we've designed it in a way that you will have a role. If you're a gastroenterologist, you may be doing some interviewing, otherwise you'll be observing body behavior or maybe even being a patient. It all depends on what the group wants. But we're going to be very flexible. I do want to say that everybody has something to offer. This is going to be a set of meeting where we have positive regard for everybody and their experiences. We try to accommodate what everybody wants. We want to try to stay flexible to what the needs are. We do have an agenda, but there is some room for flexibility depending on your needs.